I believe the Detroit Lions will go 3-14. And I got to say, I feel bad saying that because I actually like the Lions coaching staff. And I actually think the way this team is rebuilding, they are rebuilding, and the direction they are headed in Detroit is good. There's some good young players. I think the coaching staff is phenomenal. And the offensive line is solid. Detroit has a way better offensive line than the Chicago Bears. They have left tackle Taylor Decker, center Frank Ragnow. At right tackle, they have rookie Penei Sewell. He was drafted number 7 overall. He looked rusty in the preseason. I'm not going to pretend he looks like a Hall of Fame right tackle. He doesn't. He looked kind of bad, actually, in the preseason. But remember, he didn't play at all in 2020. He opted out due to COVID. I have patience for Penei Sewell. Let the guy develop. Let's see where he's at midseason. I'm not ready to call the guy a bust yet at all. Now, the Lions' new head coach, Matt Campbell, seems awesome. I am not sure that Matt Campbell's Iowa State head coach. Dan Campbell. Jesus. Excuse me. I am sorry. Dan Campbell seems awesome. I love the guy. Watch his interviews. Watch everything. I know he had an interview. And I'm trying not to mention this every time I talk about Dan Campbell. But Dan Campbell gets a lot of flack because of his first impression. He had his first ever interview in the NFL. Talked about biting off kneecaps or something. And people crucified him for that. I'm like, guys, come on. The worst offense that Dan Campbell did was get too passionate about football. And I'm like, don't you kind of want that? Like maybe the Lions need that, frankly, in Chicago. So I love the passion for the game that Dan Campbell had. I apologize for calling him Matt Campbell. Can't believe I did that. It's written in my notes, Matt Campbell. So is it my fault? I wrote that, but I'm like, dang it. Anyway, I can't believe I caught it. I caught that, which is it tells you I'm getting enough sleep because my brain is active. Anyway, Dan Campbell cares. Listen to the dude talk. Listen to his passion for the game. I love that. You can tell the dude wants to win. He cares about the integrity of football and doing things the right way. That dog will hunt. I really, really like Dan Campbell. I also like the new offensive coordinator, former Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn. The Lions have 2 solid running backs. They have DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. They also have this very, very cool story. I'm going to butcher his name. I apologize in advance. Godwin Igwebuike. Godwin Igwebuike played safety at Northwestern in college. The Lions actually moved him to running back, and he made the roster. Even had a couple touchdowns in the preseason. I'm like, Jesus, Godwin Igwebuike, right? I think I probably terribly butchered his name. I apologize, but that's a cool story to go from safety to running back in the NFL and make it. Oh my gosh, I love that. I'm rooting for that guy endlessly. Now, another move the Lions made was they signed receiver Tyrell Williams. He was cut by the Raiders. Now, they are hoping that Tyrell Williams is going to be great for the Detroit Lions. They needed a number 1 receiver. I think it's possible the Raiders cut him because they were overpaying him, not necessarily because he's a bad receiver that's not going to do anything for them. So there's hope there. They have rookie receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is a stud. Played at USC, phenomenal. That's a great weapon for them. Like, he's an underrated rookie receiver. He's going to do very, very well. They have star tight end TJ Hawkinson. I am sweating bullets, man. I'm trying not to. TJ Hawkinson made his first ever Pro Bowl. He's now entering year 3 of his NFL career. On defense, the Lions added defensive end Michael Brockers from the LA Rams. And now their secondary as a whole is not great in Detroit. They are likely to get shredded by Aaron Rodgers. Now, I know that's not new for Detroit Lions fans, but I'm just letting you know now that's what's probably going to happen. Corner Jeff Okudah was drafted number 3 overall in 2020. And he had a horrible rookie year. Like, it was brutal. It was really, really terrible. And frankly, like, Jeff Okudah is in danger of becoming a bust if he doesn't, play better and pick it up. Now, I'm also curious to see how linebackers Jamie Collins and Trey Flowers does. They've done some good stuff early on in their NFL career. I don't know if they're going to be great yet. But look, Detroit is a team I feel like weirdly, surprisingly optimistic about. I have them going 3-14. Now, this is where I could be wrong. And it's important to say this. I want to be very, very clear and be honest about what's going on. I simply have zero confidence in the Detroit Lions quarterback, Jared Goff. They traded for him from the LA Rams. Look, the Rams, his former team, wanted to get rid of him so badly. They paired him in a trade with not 1, but 2 first-round picks. That is how badly the Rams wanted to get rid of him. If it works out, by the way, it's a great trade because maybe the Rams got a steal. They got a franchise quarterback and 2 first-round picks in the same trade. But again, if Jared Goff was good, then the Rams would not have gotten rid of him. And it's not like they have a bad coach. Sean McVay did everything he could in LA with Jared Goff. He did not pick Jared Goff. He inherited Jared Goff from Jeff Fisher, the former head coach. I don't blame Sean McVay there. Clearly, if Sean McVay couldn't make it work, then I don't think anybody can. So I frankly do not see how Jared Goff goes from LA, a better football team, to a worse team in Detroit and somehow gets better. I just don't buy that that's going to happen. So I have no confidence in Jared Goff and his ability to win games in Detroit. I don't believe in the guy. Now, here's the good news. The Lions are going to go, in my opinion, 3-14. They also have a bunch of first-round picks, so whether they trade up to or higher in the draft or pick somebody with the picks they have, it's going to be very doable and very easy for Detroit to replace Jared Goff. You get a year. If he works, great. You get a really cheap you get a really cheap quarterback, Jared Goff, if Jared Goff pans out. If he fails, no problem. You can very easily replace him with the picks you got and the picks you already have. So I think no matter what, the trade was a really, really good move for Detroit to trade for Jared Goff. You sacrificed probably a year of your rebuild with potentially a bad quarterback, but it's worth it if it pays off, and either way you win. So I just think that the Lions are headed in a good direction. I do not believe that I think the Lions are going to have to get a new quarterback. They're going to go 3-14. Week 7 is going to be fun, by the way. Week 7, the Lions play in LA against the LA Rams, Jared Goff's former team. Frankly, I think the Rams are going to embarrass Detroit and embarrass Jared Goff. Should be interesting, though. Keep your eye on that game. When I do every week, I do like the biggest storylines of the week. Week 7, that will be one of the biggest storylines. But Lions, man, the rebuild's going actually pretty well, despite the fact that I think they have the wrong quarterback. I don't hold that against them. I think Jared Goff is going to fail. They'll go 3-14. But in the end, it's either way. Like, no matter what happens to Detroit this year, they're going to get a quarterback, whether it's Jared Goff or they're terrible and get to draft a new quarterback. The only thing the Lions don't want to do is be like 8-9, like just okay. And actually, let me take that back, because here's the thing. They get a bunch of first-round picks. They can just trade their first-round picks to move up in the draft and go get a quarterback. So no matter what happens, the Lions are going to get a quarterback after this year, whether it's Jared Goff or someone else. And I feel shockingly good about the Lions rebuild, even though I have them going 3-14.